Okay, we've looked at purchasing inventory. Now we're gonna look at transportation costs and ownership as things are being shipped. It's very important because two people can't be owning the item at the same time. We need to know when something's being shipped, is it the buyer that owns it or is it the seller that's responsible for it, okay? So we're gonna be looking at a seller who's selling to this buyer over here, and this arrow represents shipment, whether it's by rail, by truck, whatever it might be, okay? We have two different options here. We have FOB, which stands for free on board at the shipping point, or FOB destination. FOB shipping point means that the buyer pays the shipping and owns it. So if it's FOB shipping point, it's saying at this point is where ownership changes hands. Okay? So if it's FOB shipping point, the buyer is paying the shipping, the buyer pays the shipping, and the buyer owns it this whole time. So the buyer needs to make sure that they have it insured properly. Okay? If it's FOB destination, the seller pays the shipping, the seller pays and owns during the transportation, or during the shipping. Okay? So if it's FOB destination, free on board destination, what that means is ownership is going to change here. So that means that the seller owns it during shipping, and then it changes hands when it arrives at the buyer's docks. Okay? So you need to make sure that you understand these two things because it's very important that we know who owns this inventory. Now notice that if it's FOB shipping, the buyer's paying for it. If the buyer pays for it, the entry for this would be, let's say it's $100. So they would debit inventory $100, and let's say they paid cash for this, and then they would credit cash $100. So this is the shipping. If they're paying for the shipping, they debit inventory because shipping costs go into the item for the buyer. I think I said buyer before. This would be the buyer's journal entry. I hope I didn't say seller. This would be the buyer's journal entry where they would debit inventory and credit cash. And the buyer would put that $100 in with the other costs for the inventory. Now, if the seller, if it's FOB destination and the seller is shipping this, then if the seller pays the $100 for shipping, then it would be a shipping or selling expense, some sort of shipping expense for $100, and then they would pay cash, okay? So notice that there is a different journal entry. If the buyer, if it's FOB shipping and the buyer's paying the shipping, then they debit inventory. If it's FOB destination and the seller is paying the shipping, it's a shipping expense. And it makes sense because if the seller's selling it, they don't have that inventory item anymore. So they can't put the $100 into inventory because they just sold the item. So it has to be shipping expense. Okay? Hopefully you understand this. If you don't, go through this video a couple times and make sure you read your textbook because it does a good job also of explaining these concepts. Good luck.